All right, today is Thursday, April 4th, and this meeting is to check in on active tasks surrounding community outreach for Backdrop CMS. For starters, we have a section on our website, things we know we want to improve on the website. We have some improvements coming down the pipe to module themes and layouts pages. You guys know about that. Issue number is 442 if you want to follow up there. Homepage demo link. This is getting closer, but we thought changing the server's PHP version might help. It looks like, Gregory, you did some testing and it does not work even on the new server's new PHP version. Yeah. So we'll need to figure out what has changed recently with Tugboat that has made that stop working, because it used to work even on the older version of PHP, and now it does not.
So I have that it could be a half-day thing on April 26th and 27th, the Byron Bay Drupal Camp, and it would be lovely to have that working. I still don't know how many attendees are going to be, but yeah.
April 26th and 27th. I also am doing a sprint at my high school to try and get a bunch of high school kids to do Backdrop issues for community service credit. And also as part of their computer science curriculum. So they've got kind of a crossover where they're trying to get all of their different disciplines to also involve community service. So like reading or writing would like go teach small children to read, and like language people would go teach languages to people, and computer people would work in open source. Like every department that has a way to give back within something kids are passionate about, they're trying to encourage. And so they're like, what do we do with computer science kids? And I'm like, oh, I want them. So we're going to do a sprint where I think we're going to have about 12 kids. And so and that's on April 20th. And so I would like to have that button working by April 20th. So yeah, we've got some incentives to get that cleaned up by then.
Yeah, that's interesting. So the Australian government has chosen GovCMS to be the go-to platform for government sites. And at some point, I can't remember if it was mentioned like on a casual sort of like local meetup discussion or whatever, but someone said that Drupal should be done as sort of like a session, like an education thing, like at schools or unis at least. And yeah, I think it's an interesting idea.
I think so too. And these kids are pretty motivated. So we'll see. My intent was to get them started in like a one-day sprint and see how many of them stick around. Because if I start with 12, I expect 6 or less to be there long-term. A bunch of them will just go for the one day. But hopefully, like, because these are all kids who are already interested in open or in computer science and maybe open source, if we give them a really good first open source experience, maybe they'll come back and continue to work on it over time. Yeah. And so I'm also angling to find a favorite one that I might get for a month to do their senior project. Or if I get a super favorite one, maybe we'll like keep them over the summer to, you know, hire and do some work. So I've got other incentives going too, but I think it'll be great to see.
Yeah, another interesting idea of where this can be used, like Drupal or Backdrop. Arthur Cunningham he's using it for to help either rehabilitated or disadvantaged people, like in weird situations, get back on track, as in set up their own online business. So he has these 1 or 2 day sessions where they go from scratch to building a website with like that accepts quick payments, so they can sell stuff online, like things that they produce or resell, which is also an interesting idea. It's people like young kids coming out of juvenile, or out of prison, like young older people coming out of prison, or single mothers. People that in general don't have a lot of time, or they have certain things hindering them from, stepping back into the society, which is also a good, like, sort of like noble cause for Drupal or Backdrop. That seems to be good.
Jen, would it be helpful to have a couple remote people online that day?
Yes, yeah. So April 20th is a Saturday. We're going to be doing 9 to noon is required everybody in the classroom time, and then we're going to keep people who are super interested around till 4. So having people in Gitter would be great, because I want to teach them that, like, when you need help, you can ask in here, and there are people here who will help you. And so having someone there that will actually help them would be really useful, rather than someone like, sorry, I'm busy right now. So if you have time on April 20th between 9 and noon California time, which is like 12 and 3 East Coast time, or 11 and 2 your time, I think, Tim, that would be amazing.
Good. I'm going to plan on that.
Great.
Can you please post those times so that I can calculate what time it would be in Melbourne?
Yes. Should I make this like an event on the calendar or something?
Yeah.
I think so. In fact, yeah, we could have just declare a sprint day.
Yeah.
Not just advertise it for your event, but just like a
global sprint day or something.
Right. Sort of.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. And then let's see. Okay, so that was a homepage demo thing we want to get done. Most important thing I think we learned from last time was we need to add a Drupal 7 upgrade section to our homepage. We have a design for it. I checked the design file. We have something we can use for it. We just need to put the 3 blocks of content up there, which I think is totally doable. And I had an idea too. We got a request from our marketing team where they were like, what do you want us to work on for the next newsletter? And I was like, oh, we should put all the Drupal 7 stuff in the next newsletter, because that would be timely to go out for, like, are you curious about upgrading? Here's some information. I think the only real blocker on that is that Olaf tried to use the Drupal 7 upgrade instructions and ran into some issues. I took one pass at some of the things that were obviously needed clarification on it, but I haven't gone through his list of issues that he had with his upgrades to see if we could address those specifically. But I would encourage anyone else who is doing upgrades or thinking about doing upgrades to read it and see if it makes sense. And then if you actually do the upgrade, if you find something that you run into an issue and it's not well enough explained, or we need more information, I think we can make like sub pages that would be like, when you run into this issue, here are some ways you can get around it, or here are steps to avoid this problem, or whatever it is, because there are going to be a bunch of things that are very specific to each site that we can't probably put in one page of instructions. But I think having more instructions on specific issues that are going to be common to people would be really helpful.
One thing that was discussed during the previous virtual user group is that, and I'm not sure how this can be incorporated in the documentation, is that there's sort of like 2 higher level types of upgrades. One is an upgrade and one is a migration, and I'm not sure if we should be reflecting that in the documentation.
So we should probably describe the 2 use cases so that people understand the difference between the 2 and when they're good fits. And then beyond that, I think maybe we should say, like, migrations that's custom code. That's not our problem. Right. And upgrades, because we're supposed to support an upgrade, that's what we should like super document. And that also kind of caters to like our audience of people who are developers, are capable of doing the migration, but our audience who are going to be wanting to push the upgrade button might not be developers, and they're going to need the documentation and the help. So I think that's kind of in line with our goals, but we should explain the pros and cons of each so that people can decide which way they want to go.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a topic that is going to come up during the Byron Bay Drupal Camp. So I haven't done any upgrades. Do you think, Jenny, would be useful to just do a vanilla installation of D7, maybe with some commonly used modules?
Yeah, that's what Nate and I do during trainings when we do the like live upgrade part. We just start with like stock Drupal 7, maybe some views or something in it. The problem is we know that works. So I think like stock Drupal 7 isn't enough to catch the problems. I would say like starting with Drupal 7 plus all of our contributes and move to core might be good. We might catch some new issues that way. Or like if you have a simple blog site or something like a real world use case, I don't know if you have anything like that. Just doing those kind of upgrades are good. And I was thinking about also trying to shift my focus on the work that I'm doing from like maintenance stuff to just upgrades and kind of offloading some of my maintenance stuff. so that I can run into more of those issues too. Because I feel like the kinds of sites that I'm working on right now are all very similar because they're all sites that I've been taking care of for forever. But if I changed into the like real world of like what is that everybody is doing and get more different types of sites, we might run into different types of issues, which would be really good too. So yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying that you're actually you've done like during a training a live migration.
Yeah, and it's always Drupal 7 core to Backdrop core, and we know it works without issues. So we've got it, we can try to find the problems.
Without any specific modules like say PathAuto and
I don't think we went through any of that. I know PathAuto upgrades well because I do that. I don't know about redirect, but I think we should try all of them. Like maybe that code base, the Drupal 7 E7 whatever module that we just took down, the one that you were objecting to us throwing away, take that one and upgrade that one. That would be good. That's another good use case for keeping that site around.
Yeah, but that needs to stay as a D7. Though.
Yeah, but I mean, we could take the database and use that as like a starting point.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, an admin, have you tried like an installation that has admin menu already? Because we have admin bar now, so that works?
Yeah, there are only a couple of settings for admin menu. So they all get very updated during the update process from admin to admin bar.
Okay, and so do you have to disable or remove from the code base the D7 modules and do the upgrade? How does that work?
So theoretically, the upgrade path for something like Token or PathAuto should disable those modules because they're not modules anymore. Something like admin bar should switch it from admin menu to admin bar. But I don't know, like, I don't know exactly what the state of the status, like the system table is after an upgrade. It could be that those old modules are still in there. Backdrop and Drupal 7 will throw you a warning if a module is there that is missing, that the system stable thinks should be there. And I think in Backdrop, they automatically get disabled. I don't know if that happens in Drupal too, but it was, so it might end up in a like state where it's not perfect after the upgrade and then it gets disabled and then you never know about it again because it's fixed itself sort of thing. But I think it would be good to do testing of all of those things and make sure.
Yep. So see how we had the problem with the options element module?
Yeah.
It turns out that adding it to the array that is returned by that simple function merged in core or something like that. But I recall that there's only like 4 modules listed in that array, and it seemed too little because I know there's more. So obviously we have sort of like neglected adding things there, and we forgot about it.
We forgot about it, I think, is pretty obvious. We haven't been using it recently.
It's not only, I mean, there's a subnote that says it shouldn't be done for modules that have been merged to core and they have retained the same name.
Right, like link and email.
Yes, but if things like, I think PathAuto is part of system now.
Yeah,
what is it?
And Token too, yeah.
Yeah, and Token. So these things should be there in that list.
And enemy view mode should be there too. It's probably not.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, I'll file a separate ticket to just tidy up things and just go. I mean, even just going through the major, because usually these are added as new features in major versions. Sorry, not major, minor versions. Yeah, so if at least going through the release notes for its minor version should sort of like give us an idea which module should be there. I'll file that. Okay.
Should we get back to the outreach stuff?
Sure.
And I'm wondering if we can modify the agenda a bit and talk a little bit about the Backdrop minicamp because we're limited time already.
Sure. Let's see. So let's just move. I did move them around a little bit, but let's move events all the way up to after website.
Okay.
And then we can skip to events now if you want.
Sure. So as far as I know, Jen, this is, you agree everything is go on the Backdrop Minicamp?
Great.
As long as you're still go, we're still go.
Yeah.
I think the next step is just getting like a blog post out, either from TC Drupal or from Backdrop or probably from both. Also, I feel a little bit like we need to ask or figure out how we want to handle sessions, submissions. Like, should we have people? I think we've said that we would handle that. The Backdrop community would. That TC Drupal doesn't have to worry about that. But do we have a means to do that, or should we have people submit them to TC Drupal and then just forward them to us?
I think we should keep it simple and either use like a Google form or like a web form somewhere that we can just embed into a node on the TC Drupal site. And that way people are on the site, can fill it out. They don't have to leave the site. But it also doesn't add any work to the TC Drupal team. Right.
We could also embed that then on the Backdrop site as well, right?
Yeah. And I think we should do as much cross promotion as we can.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would really like to see a blog post on backdrop.org pretty quickly about this.
Okay. When is registration open? It's open now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. I have a plan. Why don't you draft a blog post? I'll create a form on webform.com
Sure.
we can embed in both places, and then we'll put the form on both blog posts. Okay, so then this is good because now we have the upcoming blog posts section. Where I will just put at the top, TC Drupal Minicamp. Okay. And so whenever you get that ready, we can post it. And I will post it.
I'll try and do something today or tomorrow. I'm just wondering, do you think that we just submit the same thing to TC Drupal and have them put the same copy, or do you think we should modify it?
So probably the copy for the TC Drupal thing should be more, maybe it should be the same. So I was thinking it would be like more informational so that people who are signing up for the camp could decide what they wanted to do on the first day. But I don't see a downside to that being exactly the same copy in a blog post on Backdrop CMS.
Yeah.
You like reword the first paragraph or something, but.
Maybe it'll be obvious once I start to write it,
okay. Whether
or not I need to make a separate one. So we'll play it by ear. And either way, I think a lot of it will be reusable. It just might need to be tweaked for.
Okay. And then, Tim, I'll put you on the emails so that when people start submitting that form, you'll get notified. And if you can think of anyone else who wants to be involved in that, let me know and I can add them too.
Sure. I mean, locally, I know Wilbur is interested in supporting and helping with this. Other people are supportive, but not necessarily volunteering to help. Is there anything else we need to do? Have you had a chance to talk to your local colleague, the facilitator, the unconference facilitator?
Oh, Gunnar. No, let me send that email today too.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, I think once we've got a blog post up, then we can start tweeting about it as Backdrop. TC Drupal can start tweeting about it. And yeah, is there anything more? It sounds like Wes has this dilemma about he wants to do a training, and I think he's agreed to do a training, which would conflict with our. But we were aware of that already. So. I don't know if there's other specific people we should be reaching out, and if there's any other ways we want to leverage this mini camp, we should start thinking about that. Also, do we want to do anything besides just straight up sessions? Usually there's no food on site on that day. So, you know, we could try to I don't know.
Community lunch.
Like what?
Community lunch.
Right. It's like all going out together because assuming we're not going to be too huge a group. you know, or if we, you know, if we get really, we could also wait and play this by year and see like how registrations are coming in.
Yeah.
And if, you know, if suddenly we've got 25 people, then like just going out to lunch together might be hard.
Yeah.
That would be a great problem to have.
Yeah. I can't wait to have that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been super swamped with regular work last week, so I haven't been thinking about this much, but we need to get some things happening now. So I guess if you've got nothing else, those were the major decisions I wanted us to talk about. So.
Okay. Those are great. Okay. Is there anything else we should jump to on the agenda that we should talk
about? Well, I guess we already said the virtual user group. So the goal is a week from Tuesday. We're going to do kind of a show and tell. The focus is going to be on Paul showing the stuff he's been doing, but I might, if anybody else has small, like lightning talks, little things they want to show that they've been working on, they should let me know.
Okay. Is this event on the Backdrop calendar?
Not yet.
Okay.
I need to do that. We just sort of set a time a day or two ago, and I haven't done it yet.
Well, let me know if it doesn't end up on there, because I think I missed the last one, and I usually get notifications from that calendar, but I missed it, so I want to copy it to my calendar so that everything will notify me.
The last one definitely was on the calendar.
Yeah, and so I thought like the Backdrop calendar, it usually it tells me when these meetings are and stuff. So I don't know why I didn't get a nag from that. But if I have it on both my calendars, then sure, one of them.
You know what? I might. Does it need to be on the Google calendar?
Yeah.
I put it on the Backdrop site. I might have forgot to put it in Google.
Okay.
And I know you
Google calendar is the one that like beeps on my phone and interrupts me.
That's my fault. I will be sure to do that this time.
Okay. All right, well, if there's nothing else that's super urgent, I will just quickly run through some more items here. So I just had an idea for blog posts. That might be a good place to put the upgrade versus migration thing. And then we could link that from like the how to migrate from, or how to upgrade from Drupal 7 page. And so are you interested in migrations? Here's something to read. So that was an idea for that. Although I think the mini camp thing is more important. So Tim, if you get that done first, we should do the mini camp one first. Event-wise, next week is DrupalCon. We are not allowed to give any talks about Backdrop at DrupalCon. I'm still unclear as to whether we are allowed to do any BOFs at DrupalCon, but I think there are going to be a lot of Backdrop people there. So we'll definitely be chatting about it with people in the hallways. And if there does sound like there's interest in a BOF, we'll try and figure out how to do that when we get there. Someone also mentioned it might be a good idea to do like Backdrop bar night. I haven't picked a venue, but if anyone has any feedback on that, I think it would be good to just say like, hey, we're all going to be here. Let's talk, but maybe somewhere that's not at DrupalCon. And that way we wouldn't ruffle too many feathers. Maybe like, yeah, someplace, I think a bar might not be the best place, like someplace with food. I'll figure it out.
What I would recommend we do is pick a time now or before DrupalCon, so we can say, you know, block off this time spot. And I would do it like right after DrupalCon, before the big social events start, right? Like, to me, there's always a gap between 5:30 and 7 or 8. Does that make sense, or would you? You know, I mean, like on Wednesday or Thursday, I was thinking like Wednesday or Thursday at 6 o'clock, because a lot of the other parties haven't started yet. Yeah. It could be, maybe you're not looking excited about that idea.
Well, I don't really.
Anyway, the point is to pick a time so people can be aware of it, and then when we get there, in a day, and then when we get there on Sunday or Monday, we scope something out.
Okay. So you were recommending Thursday night?
Well, Wednesday or Thursday, I think. You know, you could possibly do it Tuesday, but and I was just thinking, you know, I find that there's a lot, especially beginners. Oftentimes DrupalCon ends, and then there's like a party at 8, and in the meantime, it's like, well, what do we do?
Okay. So it looks like on Monday there's a party at 5. That's Tuesday, there's a party at 5. Wednesday, why did your website so slow? There is a party at Huh. Well, at 7:30, there's the thing you have to buy a ticket for.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining that probably won't be very well attended.
Right.
We could do it Wednesday. I don't know who's planning on going to that. And then Thursday, this is the thing I wanted on my phone where it actually shows you like all the stuff that happens in a given day. I couldn't find it. Okay, so let's see. There's trivia night. I do not think we should go up against trivia night, although that starts at...
Right. I don't think that's usually till like 8, so there might be an opportunity to go before.
4:15 to 5:30. Okay, so sometime between 5:30 and 8, that could be good. I like that idea. We could do like a dinner thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we could even do it like near trivia if we thought people were going to trivia. Okay.
Right. I will be going to trivia.
Yeah, I like trivia too. Okay, so let's plan on doing that. Thursday night. Good idea, Tim. Between 5 and 8. 5:30 and 8. Okay. Good deal.
So they do, I don't know if we should do this, but they do have the ability on their social calendar to just, for anybody to add a social event. I'm not sure that we should do that, but you know, there's like this is under the, where did I find this page? Under under any of the tracks, if there's a social events, and on Thursday night, for example, somebody's listed a Thursday evening group run. And there's a thing, add your event, and you can click on that and you can add something. Do you think adding a backdrop dinner would be too bold?
I would like not to be the one that does it.
No.
I can do it.
Okay, you're not going to be there. Are you even registered?
You know, we could just not do it as well and just socialize it really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think putting it there would be good. We might want to phrase it differently rather than being like backdrop meetup.
Right.
We could do something like, you know, what are you going to do at Drupal 7 end of life?
Right.
And that way it would be relevant to.
That was my thought about a block too, like alternatives to Drupal 7.
Yeah.
That's a very sort of like smart and sneaky way to go about it.
Yeah.
Is it sneaky like in a bad way though, or is it?
Oh, I see it as a smart,
okay,
sneaky thing, not a cunning one, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might also raise some really good conversations too, where you have people who are like, "I'm going to Drupal 8. This is how I'm doing it." Mm-hmm. That might still be really valuable to us too. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
Okay, to the agenda. This is great. Tim, I know you didn't want us to keep going through this agenda every week, so if you want to help me not do that, I'm more than welcome to let you move me around.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Videos, anyone has any videos for Backdrop, let us know. We'll put them on the YouTube channel. Tweets, obviously, tweeting about Minicamp is important. Tweeting about next week's virtual, 2 weeks virtual user group is good. Talking about anything that could be relevant at DrupalCon. So like, for example, if we have a buff or announcing this dinner thing would be good to tweet about. I also have scheduled a bunch of posts through next week that are just general, sort of more Drupal related things about Backdrop, just so that while a bunch of people are on Twitter, if they're following Backdrop, they might get news from us and remember to check us out. I'll also put a bunch of stuff about like automatic updates and built-in manual self-update, because I think that's something that people find exciting, and it's something that Drupal is looking at learning from us, which is also cool. I think that's it. Anything else we haven't talked about?
Jen, I'm looking through the press kit. Is that what we use for printing stickers and swapping?
I have actual designs for Sticker Mule that I can send you.
Yeah, please, because I don't have any swag, and it would be good to have for the Byron Day thing.
Okay. Let me make a to-do for that as well.
Yeah, does that include whatever you guys are using when you're ordering the hoodies and the t-shirts, or?
I think it's all in a Dropbox, and so if I have access to that, you should be able to grab everything.
Okay, cool. Is there any way why we don't have that publicly available? Like, as in...
No, we just don't know where to put a link. And I think Dropbox too has to be. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can get a public link. I'll try, but I think it might have to be individually shared.
Yeah, sorry. As in the press kit thing, seems sort of like related, I guess.
Yeah, we need to have a page that's not a press kit where we can just put all this stuff. Because I feel like there's stuff in the press kit that's not really press related, and there's stuff that's not in the press kit that also needs a place to live. So maybe we should just have like, here's the press kit, and then we should have a link from that page that's like more backdrop resources, and then we can put everything there.
Yeah, we recently had purchased or ordered swag for the agency that I work for, so I need to just get in touch with the person that actually did the purchase and find out where we sourced it from. So yeah, but I think the stickers will be the easiest thing to do. I still don't have a hoodie. I would like a hoodie. I think that getting something done locally, it would be more affordable than shipping it over from the US. So.
Okay, I just created an issue, and we'll add it to the site.
Yep. Thank you.
Tim says you need the hoodie for Seattle. I can bring you one. We know what size.
Probably extra large, but the last extra large I got was too large, so we'll see.
It's a slim
It's probably extra large.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this meeting, and we will have another meeting in 4 minutes to talk about all of the cool stuff that's going on in Backdrop Core, and maybe some of this stuff in Contrib too. We need to chat about. But thanks, guys, for coming and helping us with the outreach stuff. Oh, Luke, you dropped out for a minute, but your CRM stuff.
Yeah, I'm here.
We should check with Justin and see if we can get him to set up a new site for you on the new server. Because since we have the new server now, I know the API site's up already on it. It should be no problem to get that running for you. So we just need a new doc root.
Yay!
I heard him say, yay. Okay, well, let's wrap this meeting, and we'll see you guys in a couple minutes if you're going to come into the next meeting.
Yep. See you.